And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to roll call.
Casey Benner,
Here.
Frank Myers,
Here.
Martha Patterson,
Here.
Leanne Woldvogel, Nicole Boyer.
Here.
We have quorum.
Okay. Moving on to the approval of agenda for tonight's meeting.
I have a motion. I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to the approval of minutes from last meeting, May 17th of 2021.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to the introduction of evidence.
As usual, I have the design guidelines here, our city ordinances, and then you have the staff packets in front of you. In addition, I believe you all received them last Thursday.
I motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to old business.
I have none.
Okay, moving on to new business. We will start with SGHC 025-21 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to install a carport in the rear yard at 175 North 4th Street. That's actually my house. So.
Do we have anyone here who would like to?
No, my husband's at work, so. So basically what we want to do is we're going to get, it's one of those VersaTube that kind of just snaps together, can be removed down the road if we need to. We're going to actually tuck it in the backyard. It'll be behind our garage. And then you can kind of see it if you drive down the hill from Washington, but it also is going to be blocked by the neighbor's garage as well. And the height, the peak height is actually the same height as what our current garage is from our driveway up to the top. So it's really only going to see, you're only going to see like little bits that stick out, kind of that's behind our garage. So may not be very noticeable because we're going with white, so it'll kind of blend in with like the garage itself.
The long range view or nature of the property won't be harmed at all by it. If in the future someone thinks it is, that type of structure can come down very easily.
It's, so basically it just snaps together and it's anchored to the ground with, I think it's 5 or 6 like per leg, so like 10 or 12 anchors that go into the ground to hold it down.
Right, I just hope the guy that is going to put it up has a good description, because I can't tell from the drawing.
I know, my drawings was awful. Sorry.
And even then, it's not permanent.
So no, and it's gonna look, I know I submitted a picture of like what the actual carport will look like. It'll just be taller. So it'll actually be the same roof height as the current garage. It was just hard to get that squeezed into the picture.
You could,
So
when you buy your bigger house.
when we buy a house, maybe out in the country, one of these days, probably never. You know, probably not going to happen. But it's, you know, yes, it can be removed. Yes, it's an easy up, easy down. It'll look just like the picture. It'll be taller walls than that, so the wall height is actually 9.5 foot tall. And then the peak in the center is going to be 11 foot.
I motion to approve.
A second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
That was easy. It's not like you wanted an LED sign or something.
That's next. Just wait.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You never know. Maybe one of these days. Okay, moving on, we're going to go to SGHC 026-21 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to install a corrugated metal roof on the house at 401 Robert Street. Do we have anyone here to speak on that? If you could come to the podium and introduce yourself, please.
Yes. My name is Ernest Kovac. I go by Ernie Kovac. I work for Shoes Plumbing. I'm sure you guys all know who that is. And we are wanting to go with the corrugated metal roof. It's the same style as our neighbors to the west. Obviously, to preserve the home, it's in 1795 Augustine Aubuchon Jr. home. And, you know, we are going to be doing the work ourselves, trimming out all the fascia board to match. And we just want to preserve the home and just make it a maintenance-free endeavor. You know, we bought it. We're not renting it. We own it. Us and the bank, anyway. We want to retire here, so we want to put the last roof on as soon as we can because they last so long.
Is this typical galvanized?
It's a steel roof. It's powder coated with a 50-year warranty, which is actually lifetime, depending on which vendor you go through.
So it's something newer than the old corrugated?
It is, no, the current roof is the standard 3-tab shingles on it. And there is a single layer on it. We were going to go over as insulation and the factor that when the rain hits it, it will absorb the sound. So we won't be hearing any tick, 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 you know, in the hard rain. We had Erie Metal Roofs come out to do the metal shingles that are where the material is baked onto them and they're metal, but I didn't have $30,000 for a roof. So I want to go with the corrugated, which has just as long of a warranty, and it looks good. You know, they're nice and neat and clean, and we would still like to put the ice shield in that is about approximately 1 to 2 feet from the edge of the roof, which is also on the house to the west of us. It's because the pitch is so long, when something slides off that, I don't want to buy gutters every year. So we want to do that as a preventative measure so that, you know, to protect our gutters also. I have some pictures on my phone. We've been very busy at Shoes, so I've been swamped. I'm sure you guys see us around, running around like busy bees. But I do have some pictures of the style of the roof to the west of us. And as far as color, if you're wanting to know what color, my boy's at Valley, so we were thinking like a Valley blue. Sophomore, he's junior now. And, you know, I think it would add to the neighborhood, you know, just keeping those St. John colors going.
Will you use the existing gutter system?
Yes, those are in decent shape. I think they can be power washed, and they're in good shape. You know, they may get a coat of paint, but and if there's any fascia board that, you know, isn't in need of any repair while we're doing it, the fascia board will be replaced with the same type of fascia board that'll be behind that metal, because they will be wrapped, because I want to protect that fascia board also.
Well, it really is the improper roof for that style and age of building, but it's better than a leaking roof.
Yes.
It is not going to be noticeably offensive. I mean,
No, I don't think.
it's a metal roof. I don't like to vote for corrugated metal roofs on a building that age, but its location, it's the fact that it can go down, and if in the future, somebody wants something different, there will have been no damage to the structure.
Yes. And I do know that I do not know the history. I could not find the history on when the metal siding was put on the building, because I do know the original building, it was a single room. It was stone with a log foundation. I do know there's 2 foundations on that house because they obviously didn't have indoor plumbing. So there's 3 sections to that house. The original foundation, which is about this thick, stone, and then I have 2 other foundations with a crawl space.
Well, that's an interesting street. There's a lot of small,
Yes.
very valuable historic buildings.
Oh, I
along
agree.
the street. You never get that impression driving through, but they're there. And my primary objective to it is appearance, but it will save the structure, and
Most
as such, if somebody doesn't like the appearance at some future owner, they can change it.
Correct.
Can I see a picture of the neighbor's roof,
Yes, sure. You mean bring it up, or?
When I think
There's no bailiff to
corrugated,
hand
I
it to.
think like the wavy like barn roof. Is it
It is
not like standing seam,
No, this is
No, yeah.
corrugated
just
steel.
corrugated?
Okay. This here, this is the style roof that my neighbor had. We almost bought this house 2 years ago. And that is the ice shield, so when if ice slides off of it, it just breaks up the ice. That's what that device does. That's the style
More
there.
like the standing seam is what it
And-
looks.
Is it?
Yes,
Oh, I see.
the newer style that has the smaller. I was thinking like those silver corrugated. Like
And this is the blue from the neighbors
That's
who's
what I.
down the
That's what I
street. She
thought,
made
too.
something like add that foot on. And I know she has a historical home. And that's close to a valley blue.
The nails have a good insulation on to stop leakage.
To stop what?
Do the nails have a
They're
wash
screwed
on
on.
them to stop leakage?
They're screwed on.
Okay.
Yes, and I know the screws, I believe, have they use you can get them with like a neoprene type washer, which they're good forever. I mean, you put them on your plumbing, they work really good on your roof. And I actually have one on my city house, which I'm trying to sell, but I put a metal roof on that, and I've never had a problem. And they're good for family.
Roofing system usually reserved for barns and outbuildings.
Correct.
But,
Correct.
you have to consider all the circumstances.
Yeah, I want to keep that interior of that home. We really like the interior. All the floors have been redone, and they did a really good job before we bought it. So I'd like to keep it in that condition, if at all possible. Any questions? Other questions?
Do we have any other questions? Okay.
I'd like to go practice at the community band tonight.
Hey, me too.
Oh, okay.
Are we ready to make a motion?
I make a motion that we accept him putting the roof on.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Okay. I'll put the certificate in the mail tomorrow.
Thank you.
And
And then I'll take that paperwork for the permit then.
Okay. You can, if you're leaving before I leave, it's the second one down on the right, or I'll grab it for you when you leave.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, so I'm good to go. I gotta go practice some more
You're good
before I
to go.
play.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Okay, moving on to SGHC 027-21 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to install a 6-foot wooden fence in the rear yard at 307 Robert Street. Do we have anyone here? Could you come to the podium, please?
Yeah, for you who don't know me, I'm Dave Moore, I own Moore Fence. We've put fences around here for 25 years. All our fences are still standing now, ain't none of them blowed off. And this is just a regular 6-foot wood privacy fence. The customer has, they have 5 kids, and they're all from like 6 down to little. And their backyard butts up against Dunsey Construction. And they're just wanting their privacy in the backyard, basically is what it comes down to. I don't know, is there any questions? Anything? The I don't know, I've got 50 fences around town here. You know, I didn't bring no pictures or nothing of them, but yeah. Got one down there on Main Street. It's got the scallops and all kind, you know, they're by the old mill. Let me think of another one. I can't think of all
Mr.
of
Moore
them.
does lots of fences.
I do lots of fences around here.
And
you know.
always comes in to dot the i's and cross the t's.
I try to make it right, you know. About 20 years ago, I put a little fence up for a lady with 80 years old down here in town, down there on Washington Street. It wasn't no bigger than about 5 by 10, and I got fined for it. And after that, there ain't nothing that goes in this town that you guys don't know about first. If it's on the border, if it's out in the county, it don't matter. I make sure it's right before I ever put it in.
And you're gonna put, it shows in the drawing, they are putting a gate in.
Yes, right, there's a
Okay.
driveway there,
Okay.
and there's really no other access to any other part of the property other than the big drive gate. The only thing is, on the corners, I use metal L's to keep, because if you don't, in about a year, the gate starts sagging, and I beef them up a little bit. I know, I know you like your wood and everything in that part of town and stuff, but if you do, in a year, they're gonna fall. And then they look, and then if you treat it, you never even see the L brackets on it, you know? It's just kind of a little extra, to make them look presentable, you know? Somebody spends this kind of money on a product, they don't want it falling down in a year, you know? Oh, any other questions? I mean,
What is the wood?
it's a white pine treated, just like your deck wood that you build your treated decks out of. It's kind of got that greenish looking tint to it. You understand? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, that's basically what it is. It's pressure treated. Right now, cedar's so expensive you can't hardly buy a matchstick of it without being $25. I mean, a little low piece of it. Not very many people are going with cedar anymore. And this is what the majority of the wood that people put up their fences with, you know. It's all 6 by 1/2 inch thick boards, 6 inches wide, 6 foot tall.
It'll be built directly on the property.
Directly on the property, yeah. All the holes are dug 29 inches deep with 12-inch round, 29 inches deep. We set a 4x4 post in there. They're all plumb, they're all straight, they're all level on the top. And when you get done, they're really nice fence. Any other questions?
I'll make a motion, we approve the project as submitted.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Okay, thank you.
You got your fence application, so I'll have it ready tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be around. No, it might be in Thursday.
That's okay.
We're gonna be working over at the jail. I like to go in there and stay in there all
Make
day
sure
and
you
then
get out.
leave, you know. I don't like to visit,
I got you.
But that's gonna be nice when the jail gets done over there too. They're adding another 50 or something, an addition on it.
Yep.
It's really nice. Well, I don't care if it's nice or not, but you guys think it is, you know. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
You too.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, moving on to SGHC 028-21 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to replace existing standing seam roof with exposed fastener metal roof at 148 North Main.
That's me.
Can you come to the podium, please? Thanks.
I have some photos,
Okay.
and then we'll start after. There's a lot of them now, of the house and the roof and my gutters.
You want to tell them what you told me about there's damage and...
Oh, yeah. It desperately needs to be repaired. The last storm we had, whenever Bill Best had lost their roof, we had some really hard hail, and it hit and dented quite a bit. The roof is, I'm thinking, about 80 years old. It's an old standing seam, you will see. There are several layers of it, as my parents kept adding on additions, which you can kind of tell in the photo. It's like there's this roof, and then there's a little roof out the front. They extended a bedroom in the front. And then where the steps are, that was our outside doors. Now that's enclosed, and that was a hall. And then on the other side to the left, which you can see, there's another layer of roof, and that was a shed. And then in the back, behind the upper back window, is a roof that is over the kitchen part of the house. And we had an big outdoor porch. So they enclosed that, and that is the roof that is roll roof. And then the carport is corrugated metal tin. The gutters are in bad shape. In fact, one of the photos I have, when you start with the gutters, against the green leaves, you can actually see this white thing going across. It's got a hole in it. So we were cleaning them, and the water just went right through. There's also a tarp that has all the pieces of brick and wood that you see that we put on below the chimney. The chimney has always been a problem. Part of the chimney is on the upper standing seam roof. Part of it is on the roll roof. But it has leaked for a long time. So I'm pretty sure the decking under there is going to need to be replaced. And we may end up, I'd like to take the chimney out. It's just been a problem. I know it. That's
The
a good
standing seam, I can see there are problems with it. It also looks as if painting has been neglected, and that's
long time ago, and I don't remember when.
What's that?
I said that was a long time ago, and I don't remember when it was painted.
Yeah, well, any metal roof, unless you maintain it, it fails. But these are, it's beyond repair, you should
The
say.
roof? Pardon?
The roof is beyond repair.
Needs a new roof. Repairing, we've tried several times. I've had shoe make flashing about 3 times, and we put tar on it and
From an appearance
rubberized it.
standpoint, it's terrible.
It is.
But from a maintenance standpoint, is it leaking heavily?
Yes. And
What
since-
does a new roof look like?
Oh, should I?
But what does the system?
If you turn it over,
It's an exposed fastener system.
that,
It's what?
It's an exposed fastener system, and it's on the other side there. I think it's called strong rib.
It's just a rough corrugated.
not quite. I believe it'll be panels, not the corrugated. I'm trusting what Ryan and Bowman's do. They've done work for me before, so. Pardon?
Can I go with the red?
Probably that dull red, which is the same color, without the black tar and
Not too bad.
yeah, it really needs some paint.
I don't personally like the roof system. They won't hold up as well, I don't, as the old ones, but the old one is bad. And you can't see that roof anyway. I mean, if you've gone down and looked at it to see whether it should be replaced, you can't see it. So, From an appearance standpoint,
Actually, there are a lot of trees around it.
yeah, from
Yeah,
an
no.
appearance standpoint, I have no objection because you can't see it.
We have huge
But,
pin oaks also that have dropped
My concern is
big
that
limbs.
a new roofing system holds up as well as the old systems did.
I hope I live to see it.
The old systems last
I hope
forever
so.
practically.
No. I'll wait for her.
Are you gonna cover the main roof and the additions on the back?
All roofs,
Yeah.
except the carport. That does not leak. That was done in 91. The roof was done, gosh, I think my folks bought that in 47. So that's been a long time. Yeah. In fact, Harry Swice put it on. Swice Hardware lived across the street.
Water, let me know.
I'll make a motion to approve it as presented.
I'd second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Here.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll put the certificate in the mail tomorrow. When you get ready to do it though, you'll need a building permit, a roof permit.
Does Ryan need to come for that?
Ryan
No.
will typically come get that for you.
Okay. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Under the circumstances, I knew the project would pass. I don't like that system, but it will not hurt.
Sure, it will
Oh,
certainly help the building.
Yeah.
We just have to take a boat out of there, out of the top window of the river. I'm not kidding you. They anchored it to the top.
Alrighty.
Okay, moving on to administrative approvals.
It was a busy month, so we had a few there. You can see SGHC 23-21, which many people in town know as the AT&T building. They're replacing, or they asked to replace their windows. That's a non-contributing structure, and actually, approximately 5 years ago, no, 10 years ago, it received a certificate of appropriateness from the Heritage Commission for this very same request. However, we changed the guidelines since that point, not the guidelines, but the ordinance. So since it's non-contributing, it's an administrative decision, so I just approved what had already been approved 10 years ago, and that is, they have 5 large casement wood windows right now, and they're gonna replace them with 5 vinyl casement windows of the same number of lights and the same orientation. So that is 23. Then there's an attestation as to material placement at 1 North 4th. That is basically the Foundation for Restoration Home. They're replacing their chair lift, which is really not noticeable from the street to begin with. I believe it's at the end of the porch. We have an attestation as to material replacement at 306 St. Mary's Road. That's a roof replacement in the back. There's an addition. That's a building that's been sitting vacant for quite some time and has been sold and hopefully will be put back into use. But the roof on the addition on the back, the roofing was failing. So same material. SGHC 24-21, that's 52 North 3rd, putting an awning over the front door. If you go back far enough, there used to be an awning there. I don't know about when it originally was built.
Metal on?
Yes, but definitely back 50 years ago. And then an attestation as to material replacement at 148 North Main, which is where you just approved the roof. Ms. Jokers is also replacing her gutters with the exact same style gutters, only new. So she'll have a new roof and new gutters. And that is all I have.
Any other business?
I do not have any.
How do you distinguish on the gutter replacement? I know we have seen many gutter projects here over the years. How do you make the decision whether or not it,
Me or you? She has metal K-style gutters, and she's replacing them with metal K-style gutters. So she's not changing material or style. If they're changing, like
well, on
last,
that house, I don't see anything wrong, but
Yeah.
if it's a truly historic house, it's an opportunity to correct.
yeah. And last month, when there's any change, like we had Mr. Tlapic in here, he went from half round to K-style.
Yeah.
I would definitely send that to the board, or the commission, I'm sorry.
Didn't you say something about wanting to change the date?
So,
Well, it's good to
yes.
see a lot of maintenance is being done.
Yes, I think a lot of people are spending their stimulus checks. Yes, thank you, Nicole. After I missed this last month, too. Yes, would you all be willing to move the meeting next month back a week to the 24th?
The 24th of July is a Saturday.
24th of August. I'm sorry, I'm talking the wrong month, aren't
Skip the month.
26?
I? From the 20th, where are we at? I'll be all right. From the 20th to the 27th. Yes, thank you. I'll be all right.
It depends on what time, because I band at 7.
Same thing as tonight.
Yeah, so if we did it at 5, I could do it, but if we do it at 6, it's gonna be pushing it.
On Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday, from the 20th to the 20th. Oh, I'm sorry. Man, I obviously need to rest. So. From the 19th to the 26th, and I will be okay.
19th and 26th. I won't be able to be here because I'll be coming back from San Francisco.
Okay. Martha, would you be able to make the 26th?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Myers?
I see no reason why I can't.
Yes?
Should be fine. Mhm.
I like this 5 o'clock.
Do you?
Yeah, we can go home and eat supper now.
We can always put it on the agenda to make it at 5, permanently, but I think, it depends on the amount of applicants who can get here at 5, and, yeah.
During the school year
Be
with
difficult.
coaching, that would be hard. I only get to practice at 4:30 if parents pick their kids up on time.
That's a big if sometimes, probably. So, the July meeting, instead of July 19th, let me not mess this up again, will be July 26th, if that's okay. Yep. I will let Leanne know, though, Leanne announced last month that she's selling her house, and I believe planning to move out of the city, but I have not heard from her this evening, so I'm not sure if that is done or not.
So if she's moved before then and you need a new commissioner, or if she can't come or something, and I'm not here, then you wouldn't have quorum, correct?
Well, we would have a quorum of 3,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but I'd
I
have
have
to
quorum
have
for it.
all 3, so yeah. And if all 3 of you can commit to that, I'll go ahead and move it. So our meeting for July will be the 26th, and not even moving it to 5 will help, right, because you're on a trip.
Yeah, I'll be back to London.
So we'll keep it at 6 o'clock, just a week later. All right? Thank you.
Any public comments? Okay, we can adjourn.
All right. Thank you all very much.